Hi, my name's Suzy Scholl and I'm a candidate for the Pembroke School Committee. My husband John and I, along with our 2 daughters, relocated to Pembroke from southern New Jersey in August of 2009. You may have noticed an accent, so, well, now you know where that comes from. Almost immediately after our arrival, I became involved with the Pembroke Public Schools. Like many of you, my involvement with the school district started at an elementary school PTO meeting. During the first couple of years, I assisted with some activities and then moved on to chairing some larger events like the annual Halloween party at North Pembroke Elementary School. Eventually, I was elected to the role of PTO board president and had the privilege to serve in that capacity for 2 years. A few years into our tenure here in Pembroke, my husband and I attended a fundraising event hosted by the Pembroke Education Foundation. We enjoyed that event and the volunteers that organized it so much that I began to volunteer with that organization as well. I served as their vice president for a few years and then took over as the Education Foundation board president, and I've held that position for the past 5 years. Between the PTO and the Education Foundation, I was afforded the opportunity to work closely with staff and administration to support district needs, currently not supported by the budget. It helped me to gain insights into the needs of the students and the staff and allowed me to foster relationships within each of the schools. These relationships continue today, and I believe they will help me to serve the community well as your school committee member. While starting my transition out of the role of president of the foundation, it became clear to me the next logical step in my support of the Pembroke School District should be to pursue an opportunity of serving on the school committee. I believe in our schools and what the staff and administration provide to our student population. I've watched as the current school committee members have worked tirelessly with the administrations of the high school, the middle school, and all of the elementary schools to ensure continued growth and development of the curriculum that best meets the needs of the young people in our school district. I'm excited about the opportunity to be a part of a team of people that work closely with the schools in the town of Pembroke to ensure that we continue to provide high-quality education with a conscientious consideration of the overall town budget. I'm also looking forward to working with state and local government representatives as we consider funding for the schools and how we can make every dollar work to keep Pembroke competitive with other schools on the South Shore. Great schools make for a great community. Over the last 10 years, I've seen a variety of technology teaching techniques implemented throughout the district. The pace and the process of learning changes rapidly, and the administration, staff, and school committee have done a great job keeping pace. I'm ready to continue my work in support of the schools in Pembroke by being the next member of the school committee. But to do that, I need your help. I'm asking that you take the time on Saturday, May 18th to come out and support me, Suzy Scholl, for school committee. I'd like the opportunity to continue to work for you and all the families in Pembroke to keep us on the same great path of providing a great educational experience for the students in our public school system. So on May 18th, please cast a vote for the girl with the South Jersey accent who's ready to take her twang and her energy and work on your behalf as the newest member of the Pembroke School Committee. Please vote Suzy Scholl on May 18th. Thanks and have a great day.
Hello, my name is Alicia Siciliano and I'm running for Pembroke Planning Board. The reason I have decided to run for Pembroke Planning Board is because I want to help out my community and my neighbors. It's so frustrating being on the other side of a planning board table and people not understanding what it is that you want to do to your home or to your business. That the 2 biggest purchases that any of us can make is our home or our business. So why not have somebody on the other side of the table that's standing there to advocate for you? As a general contractor, I've been doing it for years for my clients, even when I was an interior designer. I would make sure that they understood what the contractor and the town officials are trying to tell them and make sure they can get through the process and get what they want out of it. And that's what I want to do for you. Help you cut out the red tape and get where you want to be. So on May 18th, please vote for me, Alicia Siciliano. Thank you.
I'm Stephen Curley, candidate for selectman. Pembroke has evolved over the last 20 years, with the growth in our schools early in the millennium to the new town manager just enacted. When I first got involved, The advisory committee developed the budget and completely controlled the process. In 2003, we had a cut in state aid. While expecting a $1 million cut, fearing a $1.3 million cut, we were surprised with $2,357,000 in change. I took a vacation day on a Friday to attend a meeting of all town departments, and a general process was agreed to. Over the weekend, I completely rewrote the budget and presented two options to the advisory committee on Monday night. Tuesday night, my primary proposal was approved at town meeting. The town manager now has complete control of the budget, but as was shown recently, advisory still has strong influence. A few weeks ago, at a select board meeting, Mr. Thorne explained that after the meeting with the advisory committee, he adjusted several line items to correct some of our concerns. It is this spirit of cooperation which I will bring to the select board. I have been protecting Pembroke taxpayers for 20 years. I have attended countless meetings, spending almost every Monday evening at Town Hall, volunteering for the residents of our great town. Over the years, I've worked hard to make sure the schools have adequate resources and been treated fairly in the budget process. I've also had the pleasure of meeting with every board, committee, commission, and department in the town while on advisory. From the clock winder, describing his climbing the stairs every Sunday to wind the clock, to the police and fire chiefs describing the inadequacies of their current stations, I've been fortunate to learn much of what goes on in the town. I now want to take this knowledge and experience to the select board. As treasurer of the Pembroke Historical Society, treasurer of Pembroke Celebrates, and treasurer of the Pembroke Public Library Foundation, my experience transcends the politics of Town Hall. I'm also chairman of the Finance Council at our church, as well as the conference president for the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, which distributed over $300,000 to those in need from a food pantry last year. I am the only candidate with a background as a fiscal watchdog to town finances, knowledge of even the smaller committees and boards in town, history of protecting the schools, and volunteering in other groups outside of the town hall to make our community a better place to live. I bring experience and accountability working for you. Let me be your voice on the select board. I ask that you vote for Stephen Curley for selectman on May 18th. A great town needs great leadership.
My name is Jessica Bradley Rushing, and I'm running for the Board of Selectmen in Pembroke because I believe it's time for new voices in our town government. It's vital that we have a wider range of perspectives represented so we can seek out fresh and creative ways to find solutions to the problems we face. If I'm elected, I would be the only woman on the board. I bring a different set of experiences and approaches to the table that are missing now. I grew up in this town and am a product of the public schools here. After graduating from Boston University, I moved back to Pembroke, but then left again when I joined the Army after 9/11. Since then, I've lived in several different states and overseas. Last year, my family had the choice to move basically anywhere, but we chose to come to Pembroke because we knew this was a good place to live, to grow up, and to raise a family. My experiences in those other places, though, allow me to look at things here in a different way. I know there are things we could be doing better, and there are always ways we can improve. Pembroke seems to be forever short on funds. We need to look at new and creative ways to generate revenue for the town so that we're not constantly facing budget shortfalls and overrides to get the bare minimum of what we need. We need new energy and ideas to get us there. The new community center project is a major upcoming issue. The potential for that area is huge. It could completely reshape and revitalize the center of town. We have a chance to create something that can and should benefit every resident of town, whether you're a young family with little kids or a senior who has lived in Pembroke for 60+ years. And there are other infrastructure projects that need to be addressed as well. We can keep the things that make Pembroke such a great place to live, the small town feel and the strong sense of community, but we must do it in a way that works not just today, but for generations to come. It's also vitally important that the way the town government runs is more accessible and transparent. Local government and local politics are so important. The decisions made at that level literally and immediately impact your daily life. But many people can't attend Board of Selectmen meetings or even have an hour to watch them on TV or Facebook. Our town government has to do a better job of using social media across several platforms and channels to make information more accessible and make the decision-making process more transparent, so residents have a better understanding of what's being done, why, how it affects them, and how they can get involved. I have 20 years of experience in government, politics, and communications. I've worked on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. I've worked for U.S. congressmen here in Boston. I've been in the military, worked as a civilian consultant for the Department of Defense, and now I serve as the Director of Communications for a national nonprofit that honors law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty. My skills, knowledge, and experience all make me a qualified candidate for the board. But even more importantly, I care about this town. I have the energy, the passion, and the determination to work to make Pembroke the best place it can be. I hope you'll vote for me on May 18th.